What's up, bodybuilding fans? Welcome to the Texas Bodybuilding News. I'm your host, Jason Martinez. And another segment of one-on-one with Jason. I got a good friend of mine, Rita Villarreal, IFBB Pro figure competitor. So, Rita, I know you've been competing for a while.
I have, yes.
Have some, actually, a lot of shows that you've done. But let's take it back. Let's take it way back. How did you get into lifting or working out, kind of thing like that?
Well, I've always played sports my whole life. I was a multi sport letterman in high school. Played all sports, pretty much basketball, volleyball, track, swimming, golf, softball. So.
And you said you played in college also?
I did. I got offered some scholarships for softball, but I didn't want to go to Kansas, so I chose to play golf for UTB TSC. So I got a scholarship to play
golf.
Yeah, golf.
Wow. And how'd you get into golf? How did you decide?
My dad would take me when I was young. He would carry me on his shoulders. He didn't pay for a cart. He would walk. He would carry me. And then, I just go out with him. I would putt a little bit, hit the ball here and there. And, he showed me,
Well, golf. Is it as hard as people say it is?
It is, but it is fun, and they say a lot of business deals are made on the golf course. So it's a good sport to take up.
Yeah. I've tried a couple times. No, it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. Maybe I'll go to Top Golf, hit a couple swings. That's about it.
That's cool. Yeah.
And then so when did you get into lifting? Seriously lifting?
In high school, we would lift weights, here and there, nothing, serious. But when I got into college, I started going to the gym. I still remember the gym, Powerhouse Gym there in Brownsville. Went there, and I remember I would always see a couple, and they were like this fit couple, there. And she looked beautiful. She was muscular. You didn't see that around.
You don't remember who it was? You don't remember who it was?
I know her niece. I don't remember her name. I know who her niece is. And I would see her, and I was like, man, she looks nice, like her muscles, and she was this older lady, and I was like, I want to look like that. So, and I found out later she did a couple competitions local. I think they had it at the Island, and I was just I want to build my body to look like that, and.
And you started going there to the Powerhouse, you said?
Powerhouse, yeah.
And you just kind of went on your own, or how did you kind of learn a little bit about it?
It's been a long time, but I think I did go on my own for the most part. I mean, I had friends that we'd go together, but
because what time was that? What year was that? Around what year?
Oh Lord, I was in maybe 2000.
Yeah, because back then there was no social media, so there was no let's go work out and let's do this workout, or not even YouTube and stuff like that. No. So back then it was just magazines and let's do any lifting. So that's what I'm saying, and especially back then, women weren't that much in the free weight area. That's why when you said her being built, that was like, whoa,
Yeah. I mean, of course, you see that. You see it more often now, but back then I was like, wow, you never seen a muscular woman like that in the gym, and it's just she's working out hard, she's lifting weights, and heavy weights, and it's like, wow, I'm gonna do that.
So then you started hitting the weights, and you started liking it, and what was the next step after that? When did you decide?
I remember reaching out to, I think it did, because later, that was 2000, 2001, I started getting interested into competing, I guess 2007, because that was my first show. So yes, they did have social media then, and I remember reaching out to a guy from San Antonio to train me, I guess, the diet and give me a workout plan. And so I think his name was Scott Trout. He's a
you really Scott? Redbeard. Really awesome. So he was your first one of your first coaches?
He was one of my first prep coaches.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's cool.
So we did the Lackland Classic together,
and when you started bodybuilding and started training, back then bikini wasn't around, right? Was it just figure at the time?
I don't remember.
Because that's what I'm saying. Because back then you just probably jumped in.
Yeah, no. Shoot, I remember we competed. We had the two suits. We had the 2-piece and then the 1-piece.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay, so then that's what I'm saying. That was the figure back then.
There might have been bikini, but it wasn't as big as it is now. Like, you know. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
And right away, like you just saying, I want to put muscle on. I want to have that physique.
I want to have that physique. Yeah.
And how did that first prep, like doing your first show? Now, how was that? Explain that to us.
It was, if I can remember, like it's so long ago, but it was good. It was fun. I saw like changes in my body, so I was like, oh, awesome. Keep going, keep pushing yourself. Came up short from the top 5. I got 6th, I remember. And so I was like, man, I want a place. But after that, I took a break. And I want to say the next time I competed was in 2014.
And was it a personal break, or with the school, or the job, or what?
Yeah, just finding, I don't think I had started working yet as a teacher. So it was just kind of looking for jobs, doing, subbing here and there. And
when did you start teaching?
I started teaching 2005. Oh, so maybe I was. Yeah. I started teaching 2005, 2006.
So you barely started teaching, and then it kind of got into it. Okay.
Yeah.
And right now, so you're currently still a teacher, and where do you teach at?
Pace. Started at Pace. I'm still at Pace.
And what do you teach? You said.
I am a special education teacher and a powerlifting coach.
Powerlifting coach. Mm-hmm. How long have you been doing powerlifting coach?
Oh, I want to say for the past 6 years, maybe. But before that, I've coached golf, I've coached track, I've coached softball, volleyball, basketball. And then the powerlifting job came open, and I was like, yes, I want to do that one.
Yeah, because that's just recently, right?
Yeah.
Like a couple years ago?
Yeah, it wasn't too long that we incorporated powerlifting in the schools as a sport.
So. And how was that teaching these young kids,
I love it because, for one, I feel like I can be an example, and they ask for help with, I need to clean up my diet. I need, because powerlifting is weight classes as well, and some kids need to drop weight, and so I try to, give them the best advice I can, and I just try to be a good role model. And
you took like almost what, 7-8 years? Well, 2008 and 2014. Kind of a break, it was just, you were just busy with work and school.
Yeah, just busy with work. I just kind of like wanted to get my feet wet with competing. It's like, okay, I did it. I'm good. But then I guess as time passed, you see people competing again. It's like, I kind of want to do it again. Mm-hmm. I got the little itch to do it again. So I tried it. I did it again 2018, and that's when I really was successful. Yeah,
2014.
2014, yeah.
And you stay figured, and then 2015, and you kind of keep it at it, and then you decided, like,
I'm gonna take it seriously.
Seriously. And at that time, who was your prep coach, or what were your prep, like, who was prepping
which
you?
One?
When you started getting into I guess 2015, when you really started getting real serious about it.
2015. I don't remember.
Yeah, because 2015 you did the Texas Cup, and you got second in Open. Then you did first Masters, and you qualified for Nationals. So you think, okay, this is serious.
I want to say it might have been Shane Hughley at the time.
Okay, so you've been with him for a good while.
Because I did the Masters Nationals with him, my first Masters Nationals with him when I qualified, and that was 2017.
Yeah. Okay, so how old were you there when you did the Masters Nationals? Because you didn't do a regular Nationals. You did Masters Nationals.
Yeah, I did the Masters Nationals.
Okay. Well, how old are you now?
I might have been the 35.
35 and up, right?
I think I was like, I'm 35. Yes, I can do Masters. Yes, let's try it.
And how was doing a big show like that, like Masters Nationals? How was that?
Eye opener. Yeah. I was like, whoa, these chicks are pretty built, and I was like, I need to get in the gym. I mean, I saw the girl next to me. She was in front of me, and I saw her, and I was like, wow, you look amazing. And she won. She's the one that won. She got her pro card.
In Masters Nationals. But you didn't do just regular one. You didn't do Open. You just went straight to
I just did, Okay. I just did that one, the Masters Nationals. And then that was 2017. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take it seriously now. Like, I want to go 100%. I want all in. So I was working with Shane, and did some shows 2018. that's where we were winning overall. Okay, now you know what? Now let's try.
What was your decision to stay in figure? Did you ever decide, let me try women's physique, or you just like?
No, I love
position,
I love figure. I'm too small for physique.
Okay.
I would need to put a lot more size on. I feel, but I think figure is good for me. Since I've been a swimmer, I have the broad shoulders, so that helps me out there. But yeah, I like figure.
Yes, because you went hard. You went hard for those 2 years. I mean, in 2 years you went hard because you got 2018 the Iron House overall. Then you did the Muscle Beach 2018, and then the big show, like right away. Like who? You were still with Shane, right?
Yeah, I was still with Shane.
Did you get some feedback, like go to nationals? You're ready for nationals, or was it him telling you we're ready for nationals?
Yeah, it was him. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, you know what? We've got 2 overalls. Let's try it. So I don't remember getting any feedback from the judges. It was just I was listening to my coach.
And that was your first national show, right?
Like real,
NPC Universe.
Universe. Yeah, that was.
And you just like took it off.
It was awesome.
That was I was like when I saw that I was like getting overall at a national show, man.
I didn't expect that at all. When they said my name or my number, I was like, oh shit, like that's me, like.
So when you started getting serious with Shane, because he coached through all that.
Yeah.
What difference was it from when we first started to actually hitting it hard for nationals? Like, what was it, a mind switch? Was it more the type of training change, or what was it?
It was kind of like a mind thing. Like, wow, I could see my potential, like, and of course him telling me the potential I have also as well, and kind of pushed me. It's like, okay, yeah, let's do this. Let's see if we all gas. Let's see what we can accomplish.
And you were still teaching at this time too, right?
Yeah.
So explain something like that. Like a lot of people say, no, because you're not teaching, you don't have a full-time job, or you're not doing this, or you're not doing that. That's what you can do competing. Like, explain that.
It's tough. I mean, my mornings start 5 o'clock in the morning. I wake up, hopefully, if I can, like 4:30 to be at the gym by 5. Like right now, we have powerlifting practice at 6:30 in the morning, so I try to get some kind of workout in the morning before practice. And if I don't finish, I'll go after work, and finish up, and then. And
how is it like getting your meals in?
My meals. I mean, I have to plan, pretty much a couple days in advance, and I'll just cook what I can, make my overnight oats or my protein shake and some oatmeal, and
But it just takes commitment, right? I mean, it's just all it is. It's just being committed. Planning it out and just executing it, I think a lot of people always want to find an excuse why they can't do it,
If you want it bad enough, you'll find a way. I mean, there's been days where I'm dragging, but it's like, no, just get up.
Well, let's talk about the NPC Universe. That's one of the big national shows, and it's open, to overall, nationals, and being a that national show is different from the Master National. So now you're competing with open.
Yes.
How many were in your class?
Ooh, it's funny because, like, I see I see some national shows now, and there's hardly any competitors. And I was like, where's all the girls? But when I competed at Universe, I want to say there was 20. I don't remember. It was
in your class.
In my class, yeah. In the open and masters class. It was stacked. It was a lot of girls.
And you won first in your open class, you won first in masters, and then you went to see overall, But see, was first place open first pro card, or it was because you got the overall? I don't remember that back then.
It was for that one because I won
Open. So you got your pro
masters
card.
Yeah, I got it. Like, I could have gotten it a couple times.
Okay.
Because I won my masters class, and then I won like the masters overall 35.
So you got a pro card for that, and then you got you open also.
Yeah, and then the overall. So,
okay. And the overall, you had what? How many divisions in figure?
It was
6,
A,
7?
B, C, D, E, F, G, maybe like 7.
Wow. So.
Yeah, 7.
And how was that? Going for overall.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, It's like, I'm already up here. I already got my pro card, so I was all happy. But when they said my name, I was just like, wow. Or my number, I'm sorry. They said number 140.
Yep. And what was some of the feedback? Did you get feedback from national judges back then?
I didn't. And the thing I do regret that I didn't jump into a pro show kind of like after I was, after I had gotten my pro card. I had gotten surgery on my nose, so I had to take some time off. And then COVID came, so there was, that time. And,
that's right.
I didn't compete again until
the end of what, 2020? Yeah. Because Team Universe was when? That's in July, right?
Yeah,
but it was in July, right?
Yeah.
So then 2 years later, so you kind of took it off. Were you still with Shane at the time?
I was okay. For my pro debut. I was
pro debut. Okay. Yeah. So then a lot of things happened, personal stuff, and then did you reach out and say, okay, I'm ready for a pro show?
Shoot, I was ready to do the Pittsburgh Pro 20. I don't remember when it was, but they had canceled it and they kept pushing shows back and pushing shows back.
That was 2019.
2019, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember they kept motion and pushing.
They kept pushing shows back.
So you were on prep. Yes. So you were on prep. Okay.
I was on prep. Okay, guess that we're not doing that one. All right, well, let's go on to. So I was on prep for a while because I was just waiting for a show to happen. And then the Tampa Pro, they said, no, we're not canceling. I was like, okay, well, we're doing the Tampa Pro then because I need to compete. And
how was that? Let's take it through your experience of doing your first pro show, because doing amateur, doing masters, now pro, they're totally different levels.
Oh, yeah.
So explain that. How was that, being there?
A learning experience. I mean, I just, you follow these pros and you get to see them in person and you're competing with them. It's just like, wow, it's an eye opener. It's cool. It's pretty neat. But then you also see okay, I need to be at their level as well. I'm just a youngin' here in the game. And so you just gotta,
How was backstage? I talked to Kaylee and there's some things go on backstage, because she was in awe with some of the pros, but there's some bad pros that are not really friendly.
There
or whatever,
are, there are. So, and you just you can kind of tell the vibe they have, the vibe they give off. So you just kind of, stick with the people that are, I guess, in your own vibe as well. So you can kind of point them out and you talk to people. And if they're not receptive, okay, well, okay, let me, all right, you're cool. I'll hang out with you or I'll talk with you backstage. And that's how it is. So
Did you have any hiccups or anything going on? Because I was just so more nervous being on my first pro show too that I didn't even think about what I was doing. I was just so nervous being back to, like you're saying, you see a lot of pros and stuff, and I would just think I can't believe I'm gonna do this, and it was
there was definitely nerves, but I was proud of the fact that I made it there, and it's I'm here. I'm actually using my pro card to do my pro debut, so I was happy. I felt you know what, I'm good. So just go
your
out
first,
there and do it.
And your first pro, you ended up getting what?
I got third in masters, and I want to say I almost cracked top 10. I got 11th.
Okay.
So I was happy. I was not bad.
And did you get some feedback then?
I didn't.
Okay. So you never got no feedback from judges to see what you needed to improve on?
Later.
Okay.
I would ask my coach, you get the feedback, because I was just I want to get out of here.
Yeah.
After the show, I just want to, But it was just to really build up my legs. That's always been the feedback. Build up my legs and my glutes. So
from all your amateur shows, your national shows, and your first pro show, was there a show that was the hardest prep?
I mean, they all were different in a way.
Was there one?
The easiest one would be during COVID, because we didn't have to be at school.
Because you weren't working.
Yeah, we didn't have to be at work. I was working out at home in the garage. That was kind of neat too. That was kind of hard in a sense because there was no gyms open. But it was kind of fun as well. It was kind of neat having to take your workouts outdoor, which was different. It's a different workout.
Yeah.
It's pretty different. That was neat. I thought that was kind of cool. I kind of miss having outdoor workouts.
So during COVID, you kind of trained your whole workout then because you couldn't be able to work out,
Yeah, we couldn't. So.
And
how about that was the hardest one because there was no gyms.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like had to be something. Like how was the eating? Was it always kind of the similar? Nothing changed, or you kind of just transitioned? There was no hardness, into getting into diet.
With Shane, we did macros, so it wasn't too bad because I would just calculate my macros and kind of fix the food that I would need to. And then as we get closer, it was like, okay, now we stick to the bro diet, I guess you can say.
Okay.
So, I mean, really, the diets haven't been too bad. Yeah, it's been pretty neat. And my current coach, he does macros as well. I guess he asks, you want macros or do you want a meal plan? And I was like, I like macros.
Why do you like macros?
Because I get to manipulate what I want to eat. I get to make, I guess, healthy foods that. So
it's not, to me, that's more complicated.
Yeah, I guess
because you every meal is different, but you have to change it and you have to calculate it. Instead of me, it's like meal 1 is meal 1, meal 2 is meal 2.
I just get bored. I guess I just get bored. Yeah, and it's like, you know what? I don't feel like having that right now. I'm gonna eat this, so I'll make it. I guess I've been doing it for ever since I started. I've done macros, so it's not too bad. It's not too hard.
And when did you switch from Shane to?
I want to say right after Tampa Pro.
So your first pro show?
Yeah, after my first pro show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I just saw... I don't even remember. Honestly, I guess I just wanted to see what else was out there. Mm-hmm. What other pro coach. I had been with him. And I had talked to the current or the coach that I was looking into, And I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll give you a shot. Like, let's see what we can do together.
So who's your current coach right now?
My current coach is Damien Segoviano, and he's the one that coaches Sid Gillen.
Okay, really?
So, yeah, he's with the pros.
So also there was somebody before then?
There was somebody before,
After Shane, there was another one?
It was, Bobby from Beast Factory.
Beast Factory, okay.
Yeah, it's not too big of a name, but, I mean, he did some good stuff. We did, we brought some good changes, but after a while I was like, no, this is not working out, and so that's when I went with
kind of. I mean, if you want to be more, you can hold off and work.
Okay.
But explain like why, because I mean, you had Shane. I mean, he brought him from amateurs. You got your pro card. And then you switch, and then you tried a different code, and then now you switch. Like, explain why. Like, why would you do that? Like, what is the reason? Because I think like a lot of people don't realize that sometimes there is a reason to change, or there isn't a change. Why?
Well, for me, for instance, one, the way he was on social media, I didn't like. He was real, I guess, cocky you can say, and I was just like, that's not what I'm about. Like, I don't want to be associated like that. Mm-hmm. And then another reason was just he wasn't timely with my meal plans, like as far as like peak week meals and stuff like that, feedback. I remember it was like night of the show.
Wow.
And I hadn't got like, okay, what am I doing? What am I eating? Well, I don't know, So I had to, call a friend, and I was like, hey, man, what do I do? And so
is it? You think it's because they have too many, or is it
he
they
had
just
a lot
get,
on his plate at the time? He was doing his, his like supplement line, and he was like had a clothesline. And then, of course, his athletes. And then he was trying to build a gym in Texas. So I know he had a lot on his plate. So I was just like, I know.
Okay. Well, that's a good reason because, because, I mean, especially a pro. Like, you gotta be on it.
Week and day of and day of the show, night before the show. What am I carving up with? How much? What am I doing? What am I eating? So, yeah, that was. Okay.
And then when you found the second one after him, you tried him out for a while, and right away do you interview him? Did you talk to him, or do you get feedback from other clients? How did you decide him? Like, let me give him a try.
Well, for one, I mean, his how do you say his what he's done you know, his
credentials.
clientele, his credentials speak for themselves. But yeah, I got to speaking with him. I guess we did like a little interview. He asked questions, I asked questions, and I was like, okay, you know, I like how this is working, because there wasn't communication towards the end of, you know, that of my last prep coach. The communication was starting to get, you know, lost. And so yeah, I got with Damien. I was like, you know what, okay, I like how you work, I like this, you know, let's try it out. And he's very timely with his meal plans. Check-ins are okay, their check-ins are red, boom, this is what you need to do. I mean, he's got his own, like, they have their own app where you submit all your stuff, you know. It's
and it's still macros for you?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
he does
macros, yeah.
And
there are times when I've asked, you know what, give me a meal plan, because I'm starting to stray from the macros.
Okay, yeah.
Give me a meal plan, and he'll give me a meal plan. So.
And when did you start working with him? Because you've done what, 10 pro shows?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
I stopped working with Bobby after, I want to say, the first Wasatch I did.
Who'd you prep with when you did Chicago Pro? Because that was a
Bobby,
really good.
yeah, and I did really well there.
Placed fifth at a pro show. Wow, and Chicago Pro was a big show.
I did. I looked good. He did. We did good, and that's what I'm saying. I stayed with him. But after a while, it just started, you know, going down.
Well, I mean, because you're at the fifth, then you went to 10th on the upper Midwest Pro.
Yeah, that was the week later, which was kind of weird.
Yeah, really?
Yeah,
a week later.
Yeah, a week later.
Okay, and then
different judge. I mean, it's a subjective sport, right? Different judges, I guess, want different.
It is what it is, you know. It's hard. Like I just think, to me, I always tell even my clients, or even when I would compete, it's like all you can do is just bring a better package to what you have, you know, because it's true. Like, one is you don't know who's showing up and who's judging, you know. And then 2021, were you still with him, or that's when you went with the other coach?
2021.
Yeah, you did Warrior Pro. You got fifth, and you did Pittsburgh Pro. You did New York Pro.
Okay, I was still with Bobby after the New York Pro is when I was like, I need to change, because actually it was the New York Pro where I was like, I need help. I'm not getting my peak week meals. I'm not getting, you know, my carb up meals for the show day. Yeah, it was New York Pro.
Well, New York Pro's a big show, Pittsburgh Pro, and you got 9th and 8th continually, and being top 10 at those big shows. Because how many were in your lineup usually about that pro shows?
For those, I want to say it was about 14. It wasn't too big because COVID was still. You know, like after the aftermath of COVID, people weren't really competing, but yeah.
Okay, and then 2022 you started with your new coach then.
Yes.
Okay. And you're doing both open and masters. Is there a reason why you're doing masters? Do they get paid for masters?
Now they do.
Okay.
Now, just recently, yeah.
Because I know they're trying to bring the Masters Olympia back.
Yeah.
And then they even have Garrett Unit has that Masters World Masters.
Okay.
In Pittsburgh also. So is that something you're thinking of doing also?
I would like to. Yeah. You know what? Luckily for me, I've always come in an open competition, first calls or second calls, nothing less than that. But I want more, I want that top 3, and I do well in masters. So I was like, well, you know what? Let's do masters. Let's try masters. So that's where I'm at right now. I mean, I'll do shows that have open and masters. But I think right now I'm at the place in my life where I'm looking for like master shows. Because
I know a couple years ago they weren't paying.
No.
So they just started paying.
They just started, and it's not much either, but I mean it's something, I guess.
So what is your future thinking on competing? Like how many more years, or what are you thinking of?
I'm taking a break right now. I want to compete against spring 2024 because I need to grow some legs. So we'll see how that goes. And I guess once we start prep again and, the body starts changing and we can finally see what's underneath the fluff and everything, I'll see what my coach thinks and whether I should go open or masters. But I mean, I think I think I could do well in open, but I think I could do better in masters.
And that's now you finally got that feedback. That's always been your lower body.
Lower body.
So they want more size, more conditioning, or what is it?
They say you have great shoulders, upper body, whatever. Just bring up the legs to match.
Okay. So. And now with your new coach, are you also using him in off season and growth season kind of?
Yes.
Is there what's different? Like what is different? Is it more food? Is it the training or
more food? As far as off season to definitely more food. We're hitting legs about twice, 3 times a week.
So he designs also your workouts.
Yes.
Because that's another thing too. Some coaches don't do that. Some coaches just nutrition, and some people do everything.
No, he does my training, splits, and my nutrition.
Okay.
So I still send check-ins every week. And I'm like, I'm in off season. Can we do like every 2 weeks? But no, every week. So keeps me in check, I guess.
and from all the pro shows you did, because you did 10, what would you say was the most memorable one for you?
Memorable? I don't know if I have a memorable one. I would think Chicago Pro, because that one I did really well against some, and that I remember that lineup was stacked, and I beat some names on there, and I was like, I was really proud of that show. That's like my
because that was
my highlight show, I guess you can say.
Who won that show? Do you remember?
Langja Williams.
Okay.
Williams, yeah.
And then, but I mean, you like I said, you placed at least all of them. First, second call out. You placed 5th, 10th, 5th, 9th, 8th, even a 6th place. In Masters, you've done really good. Second, third. Yeah, that's good. So
I'm really seeing. I want to see how the Masters National pans out this year. That should be interesting. So kind of check how that goes. And then who knows, maybe next year in 2024, compete in some master shows and maybe hopefully qualify for Masters.
How old are you?
Olympia. I'm 43.
43. Because I think the Masters Olympia for us is 45, right?
40.
40
I think for women 45. I'm 40, I'm sorry.
Because I know that what they're asking right now, I think they're doing is your credentials, like you submit like what shows you've done.
Yeah. And so that's kind of because it's like, well, am I going to get it? When do I start prep? Do I get on prep? Yeah, you're going to start prep not knowing if you're going to even make the cut or not, so. Because
I'm wondering that's true. Are they going to do like master shows where you qualify for Masters Olympia?
Yeah.
Or is it going to just always be, you got to submit it like the Arnold, you got to submit,
So that this year they're doing, I guess, submitting.
Yeah, because it's the first year they're doing it, so they're probably doing something different with it.
So who knows, maybe next year they'll do something different to where you qualify, you win a show, you qualify also, so that's what I want to see.
What other forms of fitness do you do right now, like in off season, because you're not, competing? Do you do anything else? Do you play golf? You still play golf?
I do. I'll go play with my dad every now and then. I love it. It's fun. Let's see. That's pretty much it right now. I played in an alumni softball game. Oh Lord.
You're not scared of getting hurt or anything?
I kind of was, but I'm a competitor. When I got
that's what I'm saying.
On the field, it's like all that fear went away. And afterwards, I was just like, I was like, honey, rub my neck, rub my back, rub this.
No, it's different. Like we go hard in the gym and we train, but when you're doing something athletic like that and you're not used to it for a while, I was always scared to do that to get hurt.
Yeah,
that was my thing.
Yeah, I was kind of scared. I didn't want to. I kind of backed out. But my dad, he was my coach in high school, my softball coach in high school. So he was going to be the coach of the alumni game, and so he wanted me to play, and I was like, yeah, I know, I should play because, for one, he's asking me, and I did play, but it was fun. It was good. I'm glad I did.
Being a coach and being around, the young generation now, and they know that you compete, stuff. Have anybody, one of these, younger girls come up to you and like, hey, coach, I want to bodybuild. I want to do what,
Not. Well, they'll ask for advice, but there were, like, years ago when I first started in coaching powerlifting, there were some girls that after they graduated high school, they went on to compete like in wellness competition, bikini. So I was like, how would they have known? You know, I kind of like, I wonder if I was the one that kind of inspired them, because there was no social media like it is now. And they, you know, they competed. So I was like, I hope I inspired them to, you know, compete, you know, without them actually asking me, you know. So I would like to think I have some kind of...
Well, what advice would you give somebody that, you know, they came up to you, knowing your journey, knowing what you put into it, and somebody said, you know, I want to do what you're doing, coach.
The thing that, how do I get muscles? I'm like, eat. Just eat. They want to, you know, oh, what protein? No, just eat. You just got to eat food. Eat food. That's the one thing.
Isn't that hard to to tell people, like, it's not what you do and what you eat, what supplement is how you eat. Like, you know, I think is what is it with social media? Do you think social media is benefiting, you know, our sport, or is it not benefiting? Because like right now, it's just like you go to the gyms and like, you know, you see what's going on in the gyms.
Oh,
you
know?
Everybody wants to be, you know, fitness influencer. You know, so
like
what's your take on that? You know, yes, like what's your take on all that? You know,
I mean, to each their own, but it's kind of like, why do you need to record? You know, just if you want to look a certain way, just go and do it. You don't need to be recording it for, you know, just...
Well, see, I think that's the difference. That's the difference between like a real competitor, you know, compared to somebody just doing it for social media. And I see,
you know, I'll ask him, hey, record me, because I want to see my form and all that. And I don't know other people's reasons, you know, recording and all that, or, I mean... Well,
I mean, you see, you're pro, you know, and so you have to do it for that type of reason, you know, like me, I'm that, and then I coach, and you know,
so you're doing
marketing, you know,
marketing.
So it's that, but somebody is that are not in that, you know, and you go into the gym and it's full of them now, you know, it's just it's getting out of hand, man. It's really getting out of hand.
It really is, and I mean, I don't know. That's why I love going in the morning. Yeah. They're still in bed. They're asleep.
That's true.
You know. I love the mornings. I mean, shoot, in the afternoons and the evenings, it's nuts.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Like back then, it was like we waited for the magazines and we wanted to be in the magazines and, you know, see what our pros were doing and stuff like that. Now it's like it's just so much social media, so much BS out there, so much it's just likes and this, and they doing all these things in the gym. It's like, no, yeah, stop.
Crap.
Yeah,
it is.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see how I think it's getting like it's like a fad, and it's kind of hurting us, our sport a little bit, because we got the true ones that are actually into the sport, like bodybuilding, and really focusing on that, and then you got just trying to get to the likes,
taking away from the actual pros and bodybuilders. You know, you see these other people that are getting sponsored, and they're not even, you know, like, what do they do?
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like that's another thing too. Is like
sponsorships are getting taken away from
these fitness influencers,
because they're given to these other influencers, and not the actual people that are working, putting in the work, doing, you know, putting in the years. That's another
thing too. Is like, explain to people our sport is not a money making type of sport.
Yeah,
you know,
we don't do it for the money.
You have to love doing it. It's a passion that you do it. You know. It's not the same how it was in the 2000s where you got big contracts, you know, and you got paid to be in magazines. You got paid. Now it's like none of that, you know, and it's only that 1% that get that, you know. And a lot of it's just
1%, or those people like, oh, use my code for this and all that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because if you think about it now, it's easier for these companies to spread their marketing, having ambassadors, and, you know, than actually paying a 6-digit contract, like, you know, like before they used to do. Mostotech, I don't even remember Mostotech. Man, the Mostotech had like 6 top names at one time. They were paying them 6 digits.
Wow.
Like that, you know, and that's what you wanted, that, you know. Now it's like
you fought for that. Like, now people would fight for that.
You know, it's just maybe one sponsorship, you know. So
who knows? I mean.
So in that sense, you've never got approached by anything to sponsor you or any help or anything.
No, I do sponsor. I am sponsored with Complete 180.
Okay.
As an athlete, I was one of their athletes, so they will help like travel expenses on my competitions, or discounts in this on.
But that's locally, right? They're locally.
That's local. Nothing, I'm not out there with my social media to be, and I don't plan on putting myself out there like some of these other people do, to be, noticed and sponsored and all that. Like I'm happy, with my clothes on and doing my workouts,
I was gonna say, like, yeah, that's got out of hand too. You know? But explain like the cost, because a lot of people don't understand. It's an expensive sport.
It is. I mean, every paycheck, it was like, okay, we'll put a little money aside for the competitions, a little money aside. I mean, I would I made cheesecakes to help,
raise some money.
Raise money. I was like, who wants to buy a cheesecake? They're really good, I promise.
and how is he supporting this sport? Like, has he ever said, okay, yeah, that's enough, you've done good, or
honey, would you like to? He knows it's expensive.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, to me, it's like, I got my pro card, I was done, I accomplished something, but then Classic came out, so I said, let me give it a try.
Okay, yeah.
5 shows, 2 of them I placed top 5, and I'm like, okay, that's good, I'm done, So you've done 10 pro shows, and you still want to do more. Like that's what I'm saying. Like,
I want to try and get that top spot, but at the same time, I am taking a break because, for one, with my boyfriend and everything, he sees the stress I go through. It does kind of put a stress on the relationship, from time to time, and he just, he says, we never get to take a vacation and this and that, and because you're on prep, you can't enjoy it. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. So we do have vacations planned during this off season, whatever. Good. And then once that's over, it's like, okay, now we can,
Good. Yeah, because explain that, like when you're on prep, you're a selfish person, you have to be very selfish. It's a selfish sport.
Even with little things, like he'll say, like, you didn't clean the house. It's like, I'm tired. I wake up at this time and I have to, and I have to go to the gym and I have to do all these things first. I don't have time. But it's like little things like that, like cleaning house or whatever. I mean, it's just even little things like that gets put on the back burner,
and having a support system. It has its benefits in that, he's not a competitor.
No.
And
he's not a competitor, but he does kind of like live the life of one. You should see him meal prep on Sundays. He has his meal preps ready for the week for work.
Is that something that he learned from you, or he was already doing that?
Did you? You're meal prepping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So got him into it.
I guess so.
Because that's one thing too. Is like when you have somebody that's in the sport and somebody's not on the sport, it's kind of tough to have them understand the sport.
And he does understand. He understands big time. But he'll push me. He'll be like, "Come on, you need to go to the gym." I'm like, oh, "Okay, you're right." So because he does love the gym as well, so it's good. It's nice that he's not a competitor, also, but he does love the gym as much as I do.
Good.
So
good.
It's good. It works.
Yeah. Because it's you need to have that support system, because it takes a lot on the toll, like you said. Not only physically, mentally, financially. It takes a toll.
Emotionally, it can hit you all angles.
Yeah. That's one thing too. Is like, as a female, your all's emotions are a little different from us. Like going on prep and off prep, on prep, off prep, on prep. How do you handle something like that? How do you what helps you?
My puppies, my dogs. I swear to God. I
love your pits. By the way, I'm a pit lover too.
Yeah, my babies. Yeah. They help me. I'll take them for a walk if I'm feeling like anxious. Take them for a walk. I like doing cardio for some reason. I do. I sweat. It kind of
clears your mind.
Clears
maybe?
my mind. So I'll do some cardio as well. But yeah, that's anything else you can think of?
Puppies help.
Yeah,
puppies help.
Our puppies.
And like you said, you haven't taken a vacation. What are you taking a vacation sometime soon? Like, what are you all planning?
So actually, this coming week, next weekend, we're going to Virginia to go visit his brother. He's in the Army. and we'll be skiing while we're over there. So I've never done that. I'm kind of nervous. Don't hurt yourself.
Because I was gonna say, be careful.
I'll take my knee brace.
Yeah, be careful because like that's tough on the knees, man. It is. You know, so especially we've never done it. Like he's probably an expert on doing this. No. Because I thought we said it's bad on your knees. Be careful, bad on your knees because the way you turn, you know,
have to and you have to gotta force apparently your legs.
So you got to be careful. But it's fun. I can imagine the fun. But the snow, being there a couple of days, maybe it'll be fun. But
a couple days.
Not living in the snow, right?
No. So a couple days there, taking my mom, you know, in May to go see the Astros. Good. And then we'll be taking a cruise in July. So that's the big one.
Good. Yeah, because you got to enjoy it because it's true. When you're on prep and it does take a toll on other people too. That's what people think, you know.
You got to live life. You got to live life, you know. You can't be on prep 24/7. It's hard. So
if somebody, you know, a beginner wants to get into, because now women, there's so many divisions. Like, why did you like go to figure and stay in figure, never go into bikini or, you know?
I guess because I had the muscularity for figure. For bikini, I don't think I could ever
do it.
Get small like that. And then wellness, plus I don't have the legs. I don't have the legs for wellness. And physique, I don't.
They're too big.
Yeah, they're big.
So then you just you kind of like that. Yeah. How's the posing? You know you like the posing for the figure?
I like the posing.
Yeah. And who's helped you with your posing?
Kenny
Wallace.
Yeah.
Wallace, right?
Yeah.
One of the top.
Yeah, he's
posers,
the top poser.
You know?
Yeah, Kenny's always helped me with posing. Yeah. So when it comes time, I'm like, all right, Kenny. You know, we start scheduling posing dates and all that, and he does it. You know. How do you say
virtual?
Yeah,
virtual. Do you ever see him like when you go to a pro show? Do you kind of?
I do.
Meet with,
depends for Universe. For Universe,
he was there.
You know, he's the one that told me too. You're gonna win it, and I'm like, stop. And he's like, no, you're gonna win it. You look great. Blah blah blah. Okay. Can you?
Yeah, because I know he does certain national shows and then certain pro shows he'll be there with his athletes. You know, but he does a lot of virtual. You know,
and he's got a lot of clientele. A lot of clientele.
Well, he's one of the top dogs for posing.
He knows his stuff.
He does.
He knows his stuff.
So if somebody told me, okay, I want to compete, what are some of the pros and the cons that you would tell somebody, you know, because a lot of people, they see the end reward sometimes, they don't see what you put into it. Yeah, what it takes. You know, they always see like, oh, I want to look like that. That's most of my clients like, oh, but I want that. Or goals, you know, they put somebody like, okay, you're never going to look like that. Like, you know,
you don't
like
have the genetics.
Yes. So how do you explain somebody like, you know, I want to compete, but I want to look like that, you know? Like, what would you tell somebody, honestly, like that?
For one, I would say it takes time. Because I know there's a couple people out there that, you know, they want their pro card. It's like, you need time. You need to grow. You need, you know. And then you need time. You just need patience. And just stick with it. You got to stick with it. If you want it, you just got to stick with it through thick and thin, the good and the bad, to get to that.
I think you hit a good point because I think right nowadays, because I don't know if you remember back then in Texas, maybe there was like 3 or 4 national qualifiers out of all the shows, right? And now all the shows are national qualifiers.
Oh, yeah.
So getting qualified is not hard now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I'm not like before, you know, and because every show is a national qualifier. So when somebody does one show and they qualify, they go straight to nationals. They want to go straight to nationals, you know, and like you say, like, take your time. What do you think it is right now? Like, everybody thinks that getting a pro card, like you said, it's easy. Like, what do you think it's this new generation or what is it, you know?
I think so. I think that, I mean, it is nice, you know, they just want to get that pro card. But, you know what? Like, now, it's kind of like, did you really earn that pro card? You know, there's so many now national shows. Back then it was like, okay, you had like 4 to choose from. Now there's like this national show, this national show, this national show, this national show. Well,
that's a good point. So I'm saying, like, that's why, like, the qualification first was hard. So when you qualified, that was like a big thing, and then you could only earn certain pro shows. Because even in figure, because I think figure, you know, it was only nationals and maybe USAs, you know?
Yeah.
And now, like you're saying, now they have Masters USAs.
Yeah.
They have Master Nationals, and they got the junior USAs are doing also, junior Nationals also, and before they weren't, you know? Yeah. So it's become a money thing, you know? I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
but
it is,
it's still, it's not as easy, but it's a little bit more options, I think.
Yeah.
But I think you gotta explain that it takes time, to really and dedication, because I think there's a lot of, I don't know if you've seen it, there's a lot of seasonal competitors, I call them, because they do a show and then they stop and they go there always. Like you said, like I'm in off season, I'm still doing my check-ins. You're growing for next 2 years, right?
Yes,
like you're not just I'm gonna go back to my old ways and chill.
Kind of like back when I first started competing, it's like I did a show. Okay, kind of. It was cool. I'll do my own thing now, and then it's like, I think I want to compete again.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. That's where a lot of people do that. Like, they need to understand that they got to put the work in. The off season comes in play for the following year. I think that a lot of people are missing that gap.
They're missing the reason for an off season.
Yes.
They don't. It's not okay. Let's stop everything completely and
eating like crap.
Yeah.
Drinking, the partying, the working out you know. And then, like you're saying, they get the bug. Like, oh, okay, I want to get prep 12 weeks. That's another thing too. Like it's not like your preps aren't 12 weeks no more, right?
No. I found out slower the better for my body.
No, it's for anybody. I think that I've learned that too now. Like even with my clients, if you do it longer, you preserve more so you don't stress the body out. But it's still that people think like, I'm gonna get ready in 12 weeks.
That's why when you ask like, what prep was the hardest, it's like, they weren't really too hard because I took the time to actually slowly trim the fat from my body and slowly cut the calories down, so it wasn't like drastic. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm feeling it, like I'm dying here, I'm so hungry or whatever. When
you did some amateurs, did you go through something like that?
I did, as an amateur, I think we all have. So that's why okay, I don't want to have that happen again, so we're going to do a longer prep and do it slow,
What did you ever calculate your body fat? What's the lowest you went down?
I want to say it was like 7.
That's crazy for women, man.
It is. I was like, whoa.
How did you feel?
But I had no nalgas.
I know what I'm saying. It's just muscle. It's just solid muscle. It's just how did you feel? Like it
felt cool, but and you know what? Like they say, body dysmorphia is a real thing. After being so shredded, you just gotta learn to learn that it's part of the process. You cannot stay stage lean forever. I'm still struggling. I'll look at him. I'm like, I'm fat. I'm like, look at this. Yeah. He's like, no, babe, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah. It's good. You're thick. Like, okay.
No, it is because you look so good, right?
And
you're
just so
and then you start getting some.
You see all the cuts.
It goes away
like
that.
It's like, but my coach is like, no, your body's looking well. Your reverse is going well. I'm like, okay. He knows what he's talking about. He would tell me, hey, quit your crap or whatever. So it's like, okay, I'm good. So, okay. Body's
and
good.
Do you do any coaching on the side? Do you do training on the side?
I don't because my days are so long as it is. But like I'll tell people, will you train me? I was like, no, but I'll work out with you. Let's work out together. You want to go work out? Come, we'll do a workout and what I can show you what to do. Whatever.
You work out by yourself?
I'll work out by myself or when I can with my partner over here.
But you never had another competitor bodybuilder partner?
I never did because there was there's not really a lot down here competitors. So
that's always the difference. Like that's why I tell people, like if we had something like that or a hardcore trainer, the level of our physique would be at is different.
If I lived where my coach was, oh my god. Yeah.
That's good. So
there's people that actually move, like they pick up their lives and they go because so I'm like,
good luck.
Good luck to you guys. I'm good. I'm good here.
I like the valley. I like the valley. So you're saying your next show might be 2024?
Yeah, spring.
Oh, so you got some time. Okay.
Yeah, I got some time. So
is there a specific show you want to look at?
I don't know the schedule. I don't know.
But like, is there a specific? I'm gonna do that show, like Chicago Pro, or
I don't know. Or you just want to wait? Just spring, whatever shows come up in the spring. I always like the one in Utah, the Wasatch Warrior Pro. That one's nice. Salt Lake City is really nice. So.
Do you pick it out because of your work schedule also? Like, do you kind of plan out? Like,
because if it's during the school year, like I will have to take some days off from work. So I kind of have to plan, like, all right, closer to spring, summer time.
Because you need to be off from work. Okay, yeah, that's the best time.
Yeah.
So you do plan it out. You do plan it out. Good. Well, I appreciate you coming by.
Thanks,
telling your story. It's.
So,
I think a lot of people like. There are several pros down here. And one thing too is you're still competing as a pro. And I think one of the biggest accomplishments, not only that you get the pro card, but you got the overall at a national show. I think that's one of the, you like the icing of the cake, because I mean, getting your pro card is a big accomplishment, but winning the overall show, I think that's
open,
a big
yes. That was
that thing. That's what. When I remember when you did that, I was like, wow, that's awesome. And then I remember you did the Chicago Pro, and I was like top 5, and I was been looking at, and I figured, you're gonna keep at it, but then I saw Masters, and I said, well, I wonder if they get paid in Masters, because I wasn't sure if they get paid in Masters,
Now we do, but hopefully that's something in the making that, they'll pay us a little bit more to, Masters, because I mean, we put in the work as well, and you know what, we pay to compete in Masters.
Oh, so it's not like the pro.
No, pros is you just sign a contract.
You sign a contract.
No, we have to actually pay to compete for Masters.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Wow, why would they do that?
I don't know. I guess when you pay, that's the money.
That's the money they're. For the prize money. So they're not getting out of their own.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever entry fee we have is going back to you. Oh, okay, maybe that's why.
Which they should fix that. Like either don't have us pay or pay us more. If we're going to be paying out of our pocket to compete, make the prizes a little bit.
From the top pro figures, is there somebody that you look up to that's your like, oh man, now that's the girl for figure?
In the beginning, when I first started, it was Sandra Grajales, because she's muscular and she's still very feminine, very beautiful. Now I like the physique of, she's from Mexico, Josie.
Okay.
I love her physique. So
has it changed a little bit, the criteria?
Oh yeah.
So what do they?
Have you noticed it?
Yes, that's what, but it's every division. Look at wellness.
Yeah, I mean, it's growing. Yeah.
So I mean, my thing is, are they going to bring it back down, or they,
it's funny because at these pro shows, they're picking like the bigger ladies, like Jessica Reyes. She's pretty muscular. She's got a lot of muscle on her body. They're picking them, and then when you get to Olympia, they go with Sid, and she's a smaller frame.
One, yeah.
So why are they at these other pro shows picking the?
I think that's what confusing too, because you go to a pro show and maybe they gotta select it's there, right?
Yeah.
But then they think that's the physique, and they take it somewhere else, and then they don't place.
Yeah.
Because maybe that's what happens on you, because you place them pretty high in a show, and then you go to another show, and then
it's
you
like,
what happened here? It's like I'm wondering if the criteria is eventually going to slow down. Are they going to cut the division out? Because
a lot of figure athletes have been crossing over to wellness.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if maybe in a couple of years,
because they're saying
they're going to cut it out.
Like Samantha Journey, she had said that she's not so much liking where it's going, I guess, figure, and she's not about to go put her body through that, and so she's like, I'm going to do wellness. And I know a woman from, she was on my team, figure, she went to wellness as well. And so it's like,
that's a lot easier from figure to transition to wellness than bikini.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if eventually it might be
because of the change, the criteria is changing, that they're like, you know what, we're gonna try wellness now. I think that's why I'm myself. It's like, okay, well, instead of changing categories because I can't, my body, I'm kind of stuck in figure, I'll do masters. So that's my kind of crutch. If it starts changing too much, okay, it can fall back on masters.
And when you do masters, how many people are there competing in the masters?
There's quite a bit. Yeah, there's quite a bit.
It's what, 35 or 30 up? What is it?
It just depends on that show, because they'll have masters 35 plus, or they'll have masters 40 plus.
Okay, so it depends. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought it was just a certain age and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, awesome. What advice do you want to give the audience? The last words. And somebody's that's thinking about competing or something, like.
Just do you, really. don't think or don't let what other people think about the sport, about what you're doing. I've had people tell me, oh, I don't want to look like that, or I don't want to, it's like, I'm not here to please you. Mm-hmm. You do you. If you want to, compete, go for it, stick with it, and just don't let, other people bring you down.
Yep, awesome. That's great advice. I tell a lot of people, it's like you got to love it to do it first, Yeah. If you're working out for your personal reasons, work out for your personal reasons, Yeah. But it's true, there's some people that like muscle, some people don't like muscle, but don't worry.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
especially nowadays, it's a big thing now, like women lifting. Mm-hmm. So it's like, whatever, I don't bother. But I appreciate you coming by again, and good luck. Good luck in your couple of years that you're going back into the compete. I know it's gonna take some time. Hit those legs, build those legs up. Get those legs up. Yeah, get them big. Gotta get that size. So thanks for watching. If you guys like the video, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you guys follow us on Texas Bodybuilding News. For coaching, check out my website, www.Coach Jason Martinez. So next time, get that last lift in. Stay healthy. Peace. What's up, guys? If you guys are looking for a great line of supplements, check out Jack Factory. Jack Factory got a great line of supplements. They got your fat burners, pre-workouts, essentials, proteins. Link is in the description. Use my code Jason, save 20%. Go check them out. Use my link and code and save 20%. The stack that I'm using right now is a Nitro Surge Built with a couple of capsules of NOXT pre-workout. During my workout, I got the EAA Surge. And then post-workout, I got my growth surge and my protein. So go check them out. Use the link in the description and my code Jason, save 20%.